Well, that's all we can do for him right now. Keep him intubated until we're sure his blood gases are stable. And Bernice, will you get the PO2 results down to the recovery for me, please?
Will do.
Well, I want to thank you two. Bart, synthesis. Very quick thinking.
Thanks. I just hope it wasn't too late.
Kevin, I heard you mention that before. Do you mind explaining what that's about?
Well, the sac around your uncle's heart filled with blood. Surrounded by that fluid, the heart could not pump against that pressure. Add to that the collapsed lung, your uncle may have been anoxic before we even started to operate. There could be brain damage.
Oh, no.
His vital signs are still very weak.
I know. I'll stay with him myself. Well, thanks again, you two. I think we're a great team.
Thanks.
It's good to hear. Thanks.
He's right, Bart. You know that? He's very quick thinking.
Kevin, is Alex going to be all right?
I don't know, Ryan. All we can do now is wait and see.
How long before he comes out of the anesthetic?
About 30 minutes, maybe less. I'll go down to recovery with him, at least until then.
I'll come with you.
Okay. Ryan, I don't want you to build your hopes up too much. When a man is shot in the back with a high-powered rifle,
That's right, he was shot in the back. Damn it, it just isn't just in style. But then who? Who could it have been?
So, if you're gonna help me write music, that means that I can eventually sing my own stuff, right?
Right.
You mean I could eventually work in a club and sing music?
What?
Now, Max, cool down. Don't be too hard on her.
You mean don't be too hard on her? She ran away from the ranch.
Come
You know how
on
much
now, Max, listen, if you go and talk to her with this attitude, you're going to undo all the good that nice young man is doing.
What good?
Well, he's talking her into staying home, for one thing. He's going to help her with her musical career.
Her musical career? Maggie, I don't think you're playing with a full deck. I don't want her involved with any of that
What do you
musical...
want? What do you want, Max Dicker? You want her out walking the streets of Houston? Is that what you want?
One thing has got nothing
What
to
do
do
you
with the
mean?
other.
It might come down to that. Now, you just don't know.
Maggie, he's going to fill her head with all kinds of fool nonsense. It's never going...
What is wrong with having a few ideas and a few
What's
dreams to fill her months there at the ranch? Now, come on. If you're smart, you'd be... I'm on this young man's side. If you were smart, you would be, too. Because he is buying you time.
Time for what?
Time for Elena to grow up, to get a little older, a little wiser. Maybe even fall in love with a nice young man. Quiet down that bee she's got in her bonnet. Oh, come on, Max. Go along with it. It's not going to do any harm, and it might do a lot of good.
Beer in the house?
Yeah.
Hello? Elena? Jim?
Hi, Max.
Hi, Max. Mind if I join you?
No lectures?
No, no lectures. Enough's happened tonight already. I need some peace and quiet myself.
Well, what's happened tonight, Max?
Well, I went to Alex Wheeler's wedding. Terry's boss, yeah, he's gonna marry Dennis's mother.
Oh, yeah, heard all about that. Well, at least there's one person in Houston that's happy tonight, huh?
Yeah, well, not at this wedding. The groom got shot.
Are you
What?
kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. Guess who they arrested for?
Who?
Justin Marshall.
Oh, no. Now, what if you have to go and do a damn fool thing like
Justin
that?
didn't shoot Alex Wheeler, did he?
I didn't say he shot him. I said he got arrested for it, and that's all I said.
I'm sorry.
Couldn't help overhearing. I'm Elliot Carrington, Dennis's father.
Oh, hi, I'm Max Decker.
Did I hear you say Mr. Wheeler was shot?
Yeah, that's right, in the back.
Lord, tragic. Is he dead?
Oh, I don't know. They rushed him over to Gulf Coast Hospital. I guess they're still working on him.
Well, I'm glad you told me. Poor Iris, how terrible this must be for her.
Yeah, Justin doesn't feel too terrific either.
Well, if you people would excuse me, I think I'll go over to Gulf Coast Hospital.
Gulf Coast, that's right.
Yes, I may be able to help Iris.
Well, she needs her friends around her now. But you come back again real soon now, you hear?
I'm sure I will. Thank you.
What a thoughtful man. Now, he's a real gentleman. That's what he is.
Paige, that was so thoughtful of you, getting a change of clothes for Iris. Well, poor thing, she looked so frightened sitting there covered in all that blood. Oh, here she comes. Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
Let me take this.
Was there any word on Alex while I was changing? Well, why is it taking so long?
Mom, they said it would be a long operation.
Yes, but not this long. Something must be terribly wrong if it's taking this long. I know something's gone wrong, Dennis.
So what does that prove? I mean, so the rifle isn't in there. That doesn't mean you didn't use it. But I did. I never even left the trailer. You're telling me you don't remember doing it. That's what you're telling me. I was drunk. Yeah, too drunk to remember shooting him. I'd have known it, man. I'd known if I shot him. Nobody gets that drunk. No? Well, you were sure as hell too drunk to remember what the hell you did with that rifle. No! Well, then where is it? I don't know. You don't know. You probably left it in the building you shot from, or somewhere away, along the way back here. I don't know. I don't even remember. Well, you better stop remembering, Birdbrain. You better come up with where you left it fast, and you better find it before the cops do. But what if I don't even know where it is? Now look, Pinhead. You listen and you get this straight. The cops are gonna find that rifle, you understand? And when they do, they're gonna check what store sold it, and then they're gonna come straight to me. Now see if you can figure out this part. Guess who I'm gonna pass them on down to, huh? They're gonna be knocking on your door in a minute, right, as soon as they find that rifle. So maybe you better search your memory real hard and see if you can come up and think where you left that rifle, right? Now, I hope you're not too drunk to get that part straight. You've got it? I ain't, damn it. Where's that rifle? Where is it, man? It's gotta be somewhere. The rifle! The rifle! Where's it?
He still needs the respirator?
There's no sign of spontaneous respiration.
How
I'm
is
not
he,
taking
Alma?
him off till I see him start breathing by himself. He's not lightening up at all.
He's now what?
He's not coming out of the anesthetic. Dr. Cook, I have the report of the blood gases. His PO2 is really low.
Thank you, Bernice.
The lung you repaired is expanding well, Kevin, but there's no sign of spontaneous respiration.
That beats regular. Sounds good. Any reflex?
No.
No reflex? Excuse me. No pupillary response. Alex. Alex, can you hear me? Ryan, talk to him. See if he responds to your voice.
Sure. Alex? Uncle Alex?
It's me, Ryan.
He's not answering. But he's still under anesthetic, right?
He should have been out of it by now.
But you said his heart's working. You said his lungs are working, right?
That for him, Ryan.
But you did repair the damage, right?
Ryan. The brain sends signals to the heart and lungs. The cerebrum may have suffered too great a loss of oxygen. The brain is very sensitive to such a loss. Sometimes it can't recover.
What are you trying to tell me?
That your uncle has slipped into a coma. All we can do is leave him on the respirator, and I'll see if he comes out of it.
You mean he might not?
I'm sorry, there's no way of knowing, Ryan. Could be hours, days. Could be never. As I say, all we can do now is leave him on the life support and hope that the body will heal itself. I'm sorry. We did all we could.
I know. I was there. Well, since my uncle can't take care of things himself, I guess that leaves me in charge now. Thank you, Kevin. You saved his life. As I know you tried to save Zadie's.
Well, let's hope this turns out better, shall we? I'll go and tell Iris.
No. You need it here. Please, stay with my uncle. I have a man outside. I'll tell Iris myself, huh?
Dr. Hovis, 8-1. Dr. Hovis, 8-1.
Iris,
Elliot.
I just heard. I came to see if I could help.
Oh, Elliot. You've always been kinder to me than I've deserved.
I care for you, dear lady.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know these people?
Yes. Would you excuse us for a moment?
Oh, I don't want to go far, Elliot. We're waiting for word.
Not far at all. I just have one small question.
Yes.
I gather from Dennis's reactions that you never told him about Alex being his father.
No. Alex and I promised you that we wouldn't say anything for at least a month, and we'll keep our word.
I knew you would. I wasn't asking because I feared betrayal, but it's just that I would like to help you through this terrible time, but that would be awkward if Dennis knew, and so I'm glad he doesn't. Well, now, how is Alex doing?
I don't know.
But it's been so long.
I know. And the longer it takes, the more afraid I am for him. Yeah, he just can't die.
No.
Oh.
Elliot Carrington is a very dangerous man.
Iris?
Oh, Ryan, Alex is... Oh, no. No, oh, my Lord. He's dead.
Yes, he's gone.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry to have to tell you, Iris.
How is Alex doing?
I don't know.
But it's been so long.
I know. And the longer it takes, the more afraid I am for him. Elliot, he just can't die. Oh.
But I can't help feeling that Elliot Carrington's a dangerous man. He could be a very dangerous man.
Because he knows you're Dennis's father, right? Iris?
Oh, Ryan, Alex... No. No. Oh, dear Lord, he's dead.
Yes, he's gone.
Oh!
I'm so sorry I have to tell you this, Iris.
Come, sit.
Oh. Oh, no.
Ryan, did he ask for it? What did he say?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Belmont.
Nothing?
He never regained consciousness. The operation was very long. He lapsed into a coma. Iris.
Oh, Ryan. Oh, Ryan.
Sorry, Iris. I wish...
Oh, no. There are no wishes left. No more wishes. Oh.
Iris.
Oh, Vicky. Vicky. Oh. Oh. Justin, what are you doing here? What is he doing here? He can't be here.
Iris, please.
He should be in jail. Don't you have police in this town? Why hasn't he been arrested?
I posted bail. I had to get out of there so I could be here so I could speak to Alex.
No. Never hope, please. Someone get him away from
Iris,
here. Get him
Iris,
away.
I understand how you feel, but I know I've been
Oh,
wrong. You have to help me. I have to apologize.
Apologize.
I have to beg his forgiveness for blaming him for my father's death all these weeks. Please, you have to help me before it's too late.
It is too late. He's dead. You've killed him.
Alex is dead.
Yes, he's dead, and you killed him. You killed him. I'll see you pay for this. I'll see you dead for killing Alex.
Justin, son, I think it's time we got back to the police station.
Why? You paid my bail, didn't you?
Come along now.
No, I have to think.
Look, you have no choice now. I made bail when the charge was attempted murder, but the charge has been changed. You've got to surrender yourself again.
Changed?
I'm afraid so. Now, look, there's nothing you can accomplish here.
Changed to murder?
Yes. Now, look, they may not even allow bail.
I
Please.
didn't shoot him. I didn't murder him, Stryker.
I know that, but we have got to play this game according to the rules.
I didn't do it!
Justin! Justin!
What can we do now?
Well, we got to find him. We've got to convince him to give himself up. When the police start to hunt, they may begin to use their guns.
Oh, no.
Look, the first thing we got to do is get your mother home. Come along, honey.
Iris. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry for everything that's happened.
You aren't. You can't be if you're so concerned about Alex's murderer.
Iris,
And you can't be any friend of mine either. I never want to see you again.
Iris.
Doctor, I'm supposed to go off in a few minutes. If you're going to be here, I'll go outside and give my relief report.
All right, fine, Bernice.
Thank you.
All right, and how did Iris take the news about Alex being in a coma?
That's not what I told her.
Excuse me?
I told her Alex had died.
You what? Say that again. You what?
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Would you mind telling me what the hell you think you're doing? It's bad enough what we have to tell Iris. But to leave her no hope.
I know. I hate the fact that she's suffering more than she needs to, but believe me, I know she'll agree to my purposes, all right?
I'm listening.
Okay. My uncle's in a coma. Now, you say it may last weeks, months,
Just a
maybe.
minute, just a minute. I said days or weeks. Heaven help him if it's months.
Okay, but look at him. He's helpless. He's completely vulnerable. He's unable to defend himself. So it's up to me to make his decisions and to protect him from whoever's trying to kill him.
Well, it
right?
certainly wasn't Iris.
Of course it wasn't Iris. I had to make his death real. Right now, it's the best way we have, the very best way we have of protecting him. As long as the whole world thinks he's dead, the killer won't be tempted to finish the
How do you
job,
expect
right?
to keep up this pretense? He's here. He's alive now. How are you going to keep that secret?
The only way I can with your cooperation.
With my cooperation?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, for heaven's sake.
I need you to sign a death certificate. And after that, you're going to have to get hospital clearance. I want you to arrange a private suite for him. I want you to get him in under another name as a newly admitted patient.
Let's see, just how many laws do you expect me to break?
I expect you to help me keep him alive. Now, that's it. That's your duty as a doctor, right? Okay. We'll register him under Arthur Wesley. That's W-S-L-E-Y. We'll keep him under wraps until I can find his assassin, or until he recovers well enough to make his own decisions.
Got all the answers, haven't you, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about Iris? I don't suppose I have to tell you how dangerous
Okay,
that
I'll
grief
take
can
full
be to her.
responsibility for Iris.
Responsibility? What about some pity for Iris?
If I can protect Alex until he recovers, if we can bring him back to Iris, I promise you, she'll forgive me for whatever was necessary to bring that about. Now, will you help me?
What about his business?
His will makes me administrator of his estate. I guarantee that I'll keep things just as they are.
So you can do that?
Mm-hmm. I can delay probate indefinitely. Dr. Cook, now I appreciate what I'm asking you to do is extremely difficult for you to go along with, but if you don't agree to it now, right now, it'll be too late. Alex is going to be at the mercy of whoever's trying to kill him. Do you understand?
Listen, I still don't see why we can't tell Iris. Save her a
No,
little bit of this
it's
pain.
impossible.
For heaven's sake, man, why?
Because she couldn't fake her grief well enough to convince everyone that Alex was dead. Besides, you want to stay by his side. That'd be dangerous, very dangerous. That'll leave the murderer straight to him. So we have no other choice now. Will you help me and help Alex?
Ryan, I can't.
So, you put your conscience above Alex's life, right? Well, you did that once before, didn't you? When you resisted my efforts to protect Sheikh Sadie, remember? Well, he's dead, Kevin. Now, if you don't help me, you're gonna have Alex's blood on your hands, too. You got that?
This was good of you, Stryker. I felt so helpless, I don't think I could have found my way home. Thank you.
Well, I had to do something to ease my guilty conscience. Alex Wheeler's been my friend for 30 years. I certainly was sorry to see his life snatched away like that. But God help me, somewhere inside me, I was not sorry that the other man in your life was gone.
You know, Stryker, Alex's death doesn't change anything for me, really. He was already gone out of my life. I lost him the moment Iris Carrington came to town. And at the wedding, my lord, the wedding. At the wedding, I finally admitted that to myself.
Lord, it tore me up to find myself hating an old friend like that. Maybe I can remember him the way I thought of him before I found out that... Strange. Him going off first. I lost a lot of evenings wondering what was going to be happening between you two when I was gone.
Nothing. Nothing at all. But I have a few of my own memories to recall. Forgive me that, Stryker. Forgive me. Good night.
What a performance. She ought to be on television. Forgive me, Stryker. Forgive me. Emmy Award stuff, if you ask me.
I respect her grief. So should you. Nothing to make fun of. It's real.
Oh, sure it is, honey. As real as her double life in the back streets of Houston.
Oh, stop it, please. Rena, stop.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
You know, you can't always control who it is you love. Oh, my dear, I hope you never find yourself hung up on the same cross as your mother's been hung on.
No way, honey. I never betrayed Kevin while I was married to him. Never. I've got my daddy's straightforward character, not my mother's sneaky nature. Come on, honey, enough talk about her. We've got more important things to worry about, like finding Justin before the police.
Max, thanks for the lift. Good night.
Max, I'll be in a second. I just want to talk to Jeb for a minute. Jeb?
It's late.
Don't you mean it's early? I mean, look.
Well, I thought I was through with these all-nighters when I quit my band. I hope you're not going to be a bad influence on me.
Well, that depends on just how good an influence you are on me. Hey, Jeb, listen, before I go in, would you tell me if I'm holding this chord right? I've been practicing, but... Here, look.
What? Oh, that's awful. No, it's not good. What? Look, what? It's not that difficult. You're playing an E there. You don't have to play that. It's a very simple chord. All right?
Okay.
No, here. Your wrist. It's in the wrist.
Okay.
So, okay, try it.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. Listen, you're gonna have to start working on your attitudes, on your professionalism, you know? You gotta learn to read music. You gotta learn to read it on sight so that you can sing a song like you've been singing it all your life. You probably won't even use your guitar when you get to singing and performing.
Well, when am I going to be ready to perform?
Oh, will you slow down? Will you take it easy? Will you take it step by step? Do it right.
And did you take that advice?
No, I didn't take that advice. That's why I almost killed myself. Look, don't repeat my mistakes. And listen to me when I'm talking to you. Don't be playing that thing. Okay. Elaine, I don't think you're serious about this at all. I think that we just should call the deal off, all right?
Jeb, I'm sorry. I am serious.
Yeah, well, you better be. And you got to work on your personal life, too, because that's just as important. You got to work on that just as hard as you're working on your music, because that's where your music comes from. You know that? You want to, let me ask you, you want to have character in your music?
Of course I want to have character.
All right, well, then you got to have character inside yourself first.
Well, I've got character.
You've got a start. You've got a solid background. But you've got a lot of self-destructive tendencies. Are you aware of that?
Like what? Like not enjoying getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to feed the cows?
No, like hanging around with a certain creep named Billy Joe Wright.
I don't hang around with him.
Well, that's not what I heard.
Well, I don't care what you heard. It doesn't mean anything to me. He's exactly what you said he was. He's a creep.
Okay, fine, then. Then we should never have to mention his name again around here, okay?
Well, you won't hear me mentioning it. Hey. Hey, you're not hurting, are you?
What? No, what? I'm fine.
You know, Jeb, I never got a chance to thank you. Well, you're making a really big sacrifice for me.
Look, I wasn't crazy about going under the knife.
Yeah, but the sooner you do it, the sooner you'll be well.
That's what they tell me.
You know, nobody's ever done anything like this for me before.
Look, I'm just doing what I want to do. I'm doing what I think is best for both of us.
Well, I'm not going to disappoint you. I am going to work hard, and I'm going to have the right attitude, and I want you to be proud of me.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeb. Good night.
Good night.
Who is it? At the ranch. I don't know where to look for Justin now.
Well, don't you worry, Daddy. I know Justin. He'll go back to the ranch. He's just like all the rest of the Marshalls. When he's in trouble, he reaches out to his family, to his roots.
I suppose you're right.
Well, I know I'm right. I know Justin Marshall just about as well as I know myself. Come on.
Rena, honey, I know that you and Kevin are talking about a divorce. But that doesn't mean that you're going to go running after Justin Marshall, now, does it?
Honey, I'm not going running into any man's arms. Never again. From now on, they'll have to beg.
Well, you know what I mean. It would seem perfectly natural, maybe, but it can't do anything but cause you more trouble. Now, as much as I love Justin, and yet love him like my son, I realize he's wild. He cannot do you any good. Am I so wrong? Oh, now look, baby, look at all the messes that he has managed to get himself into in just the short time since he's come back from Europe.
You can't hold that against him. That's not fair, Daddy. Sure, he might have acted like a fool, but he was a good fool. He was trying to do the things that he believed were right.
Even when he was dead wrong?
Regardless. Anyway, we know one thing for sure. He is not guilty of those murder charges. I mean, that's just a bum rap, and we can't hold that against him.
Oh, can't we? Even when his fool vendetta against Alex put him square in line to be accused, he has been acting out this pointless, crazy game against Alex until now he's the most logical one to be suspected. He has been begging for this, Rena. You know he has.
Honey, whatever Justin has done, he is still Justin. Daddy, honey, you are going to help him out now, aren't you? If there's anybody who can clear him of this business, it's my daddy.
Now, look, I will do as much for him as is in my power. I'm not going to turn my back on my friends, idiotic as they are.
I love you.
Now, look, you do me a favor down the road a ways. When we get Justin out of this nasty mess, promise me that you will steer away from any emotional involvement with the boy. Will you promise me that?
I told you I'm not looking, Daddy.
Well, I'm not telling you not to look. Just don't look in Justin's direction. That's all. As far as that goes, I'd be perfectly happy if you'd find yourself some good, steady man.
Oh, like good old steady Max Sticker.
You could do worse. Hell, you have done worse.
All right. Can we cut the lecture now, huh? I think we ought to go back to the ranch and wait for Justin there. talk some sense into him before it's too late. Now, I wish you'd quit lecturing me. You're
I'm
always
gonna lecture
lecturing.
you as long as I'm alive. You are my little baby girl, and you keep me.
Kevin?
No more hard sell, all right? Trying to think.
For his sake, I hope you think right.
Dr. Cook,
Yes, Leslie?
I'm just starting my shift. Are there any special instructions?
Well, his heart's in normal sinus rhythm, but there's no spontaneous respiration. Have a respirator put in his room, please.
Yes, sir. Do you know his room number?
Hmm?
His room number.
No. It was an emergency. We didn't have time to arrange a room. However, there's nothing more we can do for him here.
Okay, I'll call admitting and arrange for a room then.
Leslie, make that a private suite, will you? On the top floor. In the name of Mr. Arthur Wesley. Now, please.
Yes, Mr. Wesley will have private nurses around the clock. I'll make all the arrangements, okay?
Okay.
Kevin, look, I know this is tough on you, but thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, I like to think I can learn from my mistakes, Ryan. Leave security to the professionals. However, you'll have to make the funeral arrangements.
Mm-hmm. Make it private and safe in a closed coffin.
Well, I think that would be wise, Ryan.
Hey, look, I know you're still pretty dubious about this, but believe me, you won't regret it. I can't thank you enough for, well, putting your career on the line like this.
Thanks aren't necessary. There's no guarantee you'll come out of the coma anyway. So maybe I'm just telling the truth a little bit prematurely.
Oh, no. No. Oh, what am I going to do?
Iris, you have to rest.
No.
I have a feeling like there's
Oh, Dennis, he's gone. He's gone.
Take it easy. Sit down.
Oh, no.
Paige?
Oh, I can't bear this any longer. It's never going to end, is it? Oh.
Here, Iris, take this, please.
Oh.
Swallow a little bit of that.
I'm never going to see his face again. I can't believe that. I feel so alone. I'm going to be alone now for the rest of my life.
That's not true, Iris. You have a fine son over here to take care of you. And I'm here.
Oh.
And you have me, Iris. We can forget our old differences and hurts. I'll stand by you. I'll do whatever I can. Whatever you need.
I think that pill is going to do the trick, though, Dennis. She looks like she's going to be able to sleep for a while.
I don't know. She's always been a light sleeper. Half the time when I was growing up, I never even saw her sleeping. She was always propped up with a pillow under her, reading a book or talking on the telephone. I don't know. She's just Never slept very well.
Well, she has a little help this time.
Wouldn't it be nice if she could just sleep for the next few weeks?
Yeah.
That way she wouldn't have to go through the pain of what she's going to be feeling. As if she wasn't in enough pain right now.
Dennis, what about you, honey?
I'll be all right.
You are about to drop from exhaustion. You have been up all night worrying about her. You need some rest yourself.
No, somebody's got to be here in case she wakes up.
I'll be here in case she wakes up. Now make me happy, please. Go home and get some rest.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. I won't leave her bedside, I promise you. See, I'm not even sleepy. Us artists get to stay in bed half the afternoon.
Yeah, well, I could use some sleep, you're right. Thanks for being so kind to Mom. And to me, too. Appreciate it.
You don't need to mention it. Times like this, friends are supposed to help each other out. Besides, I'd like it if you could think of me as more than that, Dennis. Part of your family.
Go on out to the car, son. You can get it out of the garage for us. I'll stay a few minutes and make sure your mother's resting comfortably.
Okay, Dad. Thanks, Paige.
You don't need to worry about her, Elliot. Like I told Dennis, I will be around to take care of her.
You will, huh, Paige? Why?
Why? I don't know what you mean.
I mean, I don't trust you. Or your motives.
Well, you better trust me, honey. Actually, you have to trust me. Since I happen to know your little secret.
Now, what is it you think you know about me, Paige?
Hey, not so rough, would ya? Why did Iris divorce you in the first place, honey? Are you one of those closet wife beaters? Mild-mannered in public and a tiger when the lights are out?
This isn't a game. I won't put up with innuendos and threats from you. Now, what are you talking about? My secret?
Oh, Elliot, you wrinkled it.
Paige, I've been through too much already.
Whoa, you are a tiger, aren't you? Wonder if Dennis has inherited. Oh, silly, silly me. That's the secret. That Dennis couldn't have inherited anything from you because you're not really his father.
You know about that?
You bet I do. Do you remember when I asked him if he was really your son? Well, Iris told me the truth, Elliot. That he wasn't. That he's really Alex Wheeler's baby boy. The late Alex Wheeler.
Okay. I should have known a smart cookie like you would put that together. I'm sorry I got so carried away.
That's okay. I don't mind a little passion from a man. Actually, I sort of enjoyed it. Thank you, Elliot.
Why are you mixing in this? It's none of your business.
Free country. Now, if you'll excuse me, my friend needs me.
Hold on. That's not good enough.
No. No, it isn't, is it? Well, I guess we're just going to have to make some sort of an agreement then, aren't we?
What sort of agreement?
Oh, say that, I promise not to tell Dennis the truth about his patrimony. Specifically, that you are not his daddy. And I promise not to interfere with your relationship with him at all.
If what?
That's the easy part, Elliot. Just don't you try to interfere with my relationship with him either. It's a simple trade-off. Is it a deal?
Hold on. What do you mean exactly? You want to be friends with Dennis?
Friends? Oh, honey. I plan to marry Dennis. I'm going to let him catch me.
Oh, wait a minute.
And don't you dare try to interfere. For your own good, baby. Because I can hurt you a lot more than you can hurt me.
Oh, Shelley, come on in.
The office told me my patient was still in recovery. I wanted to see him up to his room. Still under?
No, he's not under anesthetic. He's in a coma.
Oh.
Listen, before I brief you, you remember Dr. Cook, don't you? Shelley was on Sheikh Zaidi's private duty staff before his operation. She has State Department medical clearance.
Oh, yes, of course, I remember you. Nice to see you again.
Doctor?
Did an excellent job for us before. I appreciated your discretion. Now, this is another high-security case.
I see.
What we want you to do is keep an eye on the patient, of course, but also see that no one besides Dr. Cook and myself sees him. Now, can you handle that?
Sure. But what if I can't talk unauthorized visitors into staying out?
Okay, I'll have a security man here for you, Ricky Decker. That's the only other person allowed to be with the patient. Any questions?
I know better than to ask. Oh, well, there is one question. What's the patient's name?
Arthur Wesley. Now, can you handle all this, Shelley?
Oh, sure. Take him gently now. You and I are going to be spending a lot of time together, Mr. Arthur Wesley.
I hope we're doing the right thing, Ryan.
We're doing the only thing we can to keep him alive until I can find out who wants him dead.
I wondered why you left the breakfast table in such a hurry.
Things to do, Grandma. You hand me that over there?
Taking a trip?
Uh-huh.
A long one from the looks of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Where to?
Upriver.
You're running away.
I didn't kill Wheeler.
Then why are you running?
Because he's dead. I went to tell him how wrong I'd been for accusing him of all the things that he didn't do. I guess I know how it feels now to be accused of something I didn't do. Oh, son. What are you looking at me that way for? I'm just following an old family tradition. The marshals started it a long time ago. I'm heading west.
They knew where they were going and why. You're just shucking off your life. You want tradition? Look around you. This is where your roots are. On this land, this place.
And this is where they're gonna lock me up, huh? No, if they want me bad enough, just let them find me.
They will. Oh, baby. They got helicopters now, you know, and state police. They'll hunt you down.
Well, there are worse ways to go, Grandma.
Justin! Hey, heavens, we found you!
Oh, you did? Well, you're losing me again.
No, Justin, wait.
Shelley? This is Ryan Connor. Look, I won't be long. I just want to see how Mr. Wesley's doing.
Same as he was last night, Ryan. Still deep in coma.
No change, huh?
Well, Ryan, you know, he may linger a long time before he comes out of it.
Sure. Look, you have my number, so get a hold of me as soon as there's any change, okay?
It may not be soon, but yes. Don't give up hope.
Yeah, sure. That's all I've got is hope. Hope that Alex gets out of his coma. Hope that I'm doing the right thing, keeping him hidden. And hope that I can really find out who is after Alex.
Oh. Elliot Carrington is a very dangerous man.
Iris?
Oh, Ryan, Alex is... Oh, no. No, oh, my Lord. He's dead.
Yes, he's gone.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry to have to tell you, Iris. It's a hell of a thing to do to Iris. But I have to keep Alex safe until I find out who shot him. Come in. Hi, Terry. Hey, come on in. Terry, what's the matter?
Oh, Ryan.
Just finished making most of the funeral arrangements. Just can't believe I'll never see his face again. Why did you ask for a closed casket?
Well, it was Alex's will. It was his request.
I just wish I could...
I know. But it is better this way. All right? I guess we better get back to business, huh? What have you got for me, huh?
The list you gave me of funeral arrangements.
No announcement to the press, that's right. Private service, sealed casket. Friends and family to be notified. Terry, what's this?
Oh, his sister Alexis. Your mother. I haven't called her yet, but...
Oh, good. I mean, it's all right. I've already called her.
I'm sure it's easier hearing it from you anyway. Will she be coming?
No. She's been ill. She can't travel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, is there anything you want me to add to this?
No, that's it.
And, I'll notify the rest, and,
Hey, keep your chin up, huh?
Think I'm down. You should see Ricky.
Oh, did you call him for me?
Well, yeah. He's waiting in my office to see you. I'll send him in.
Good. Rick, good to see you.
Yeah. I don't see how you can stand to look me in the face.
What, you mean Alex?
No, I mean me. Because of my poor judgment at the wedding.
Hey, you did the right thing.
Oh, I did, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, well, then tell me why Alex is dead. And don't tell me it wasn't my fault. He's dead. You don't get a second chance with a man's life.
Oh, yeah? Well, sometimes you do. Yeah, I mean it. What if you got a second crack at keeping Alex alive, huh?
He's in here, Daddy. Stryker and I were worried sick about you, honey.
I don't see why. I'm in good hands now. Mine.
Josh, you're not gonna run, are you?
Just taking myself a little ride. You'll excuse me.
Are you going somewhere, Justin?
He sure is, Daddy. Look at him.
I told him he was making a mistake.
No mistake, Grandma.
It sure as hell is. Makes you look guilty as sin.
I already look guilty. They're all blaming me, aren't you?
No.
Oh, honey.
You believe me?
And I'll make all the rest of them believe you, too, if you're just willing to give it a chance.
You see, honey, you can't lose. You got the best lawyer in Texas supporting you.
And your family, too.
No. No, I saw their eyes at the wedding.
Then that's why you're running away.
Maybe I'm running to find Alex Wheeler to give him my apologies in person.
Alex Wheeler is dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Maybe this is my funeral. Mine and mine alone.
It's not just your funeral, Justin
You see anybody else around here?
Not on their own free will, no. But you're dragging all the Marshalls and the Deckers right with you. You hear me? I mean it, Just. You leave now and this ranch goes with you. They'll lose everything. And you want that on your conscience, too?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this ranch. You leave and it goes. This place paid your bail, you idiot. That's right. That's right. I was right here. Daddy took Kate's deed and pledged every last acre against your word that you'd return for trial.
You pledged the ranch?
He sure did, honey. You should have heard him. He said Justin was an honorable man. He said that Justin would never let his family down. Stryker said that he knew he'd do right by his folks, no matter what he had to face. Honey, Daddy was right, wasn't he?
I didn't realize.
Justin?
You always were good at keeping my feet where they belong. Thanks again. Grandma, you can tell Max I think he's pretty lucky I changed my mind. He'll be using that saddle now.
Whenever you are ready, son.
I'm not quite dressed for it.
Oh, you'll be just fine for now. He'll be home, Kate. Don't you worry. He'll be home.
Kate, what if he never comes back?
Rena, your daddy has always been a man of his word. I reckon I can trust him now.
Shelley.
He's still the same. Stop worrying.
Hey, you're the one I'm worried about. Mm-hmm. You've been here all night, haven't you? Don't think you're ready for a break?
I've been ready. That's the best offer I've had all day. Do you have somebody to relieve me?
Uh-huh. Me. Go on. You got an hour, okay?
See you later.
I promised you a second chance, right?
Yeah, but...
Go on in. Go see who's in that bed.
It's Alex. I don't believe it. He's still alive.
Barely. He's in a coma. His name isn't Alex Wheeler anymore. As far as that nurse or anyone else is concerned, this patient's name is Arthur Wesley. Now, the only other person who knows is Kevin Cook. You got that?
Yeah, gotcha. Why all this hush-hush business?
Well, look at it. What do you think would happen if the guy who shot him knew that he was still alive?
Nobody comes looking for a dead man.
Mm-hmm.
Very clever.
Well, it took losing Zadie to teach me what security measures I should have taken. Okay, Rick, you can take that second chance that I didn't, if you want to. So what do you say? You want to be Alex's security again?
Are you kidding? Sure I do, but, well, are you sure you still want me? I mean, after what happened at the wedding?
Look, I don't hold you responsible.
Yeah, well, I do. Curtis told me about Justin, and I just couldn't make myself believe that old Justin would try anything like that.
I don't believe it either.
Yeah, but it looks like he did.
Or maybe somebody set him up.
Who?
Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't have to go to this trouble, would we? The patient's chart would read Alex Wheeler instead of Arthur Wesley.
Kate, I told a lie.
Wouldn't be the first time. Who to?
Justin, just now when I told him that Daddy put up the ranch for his bail. Now, I only told him that to keep him from running. You're glad I did it, aren't you?
Oh, worked.
I knew it would. That's why I made it up. I knew that if he thought he was letting down his family, that he...
Now, wait a minute. If your daddy didn't pledge this place, who put up the money for Justin's bail?
Daddy and me.
What?
Now, don't you get all head up like that, Kate. Daddy just put up one of those ugly old apartment buildings he owns out in Wayside.
Now, Rena, your daddy had no business using his own money.
He wanted to. We both did. Oh, you know that we both would rather lose 100 of those old apartment buildings than see 1 acre of Marshall land go to strangers' hands.
You two. You and that daddy of yours.
Yep. You know how you can square up your debt?
And just how is that?
fixing me one of those great old-fashioned Kate Marshall down-home lunches of yours? Do we have a deal?
Oh, you drive a hard bargain.
You really think somebody set Justin up? Yeah, evidence is just too thin. Besides, I have this hunch. Yeah, well, I hope you find out about it soon. Can't keep this a secret forever. All we have to do is keep it going long enough.
See? Not even an hour yet, but boy, did I need that break. How's my patient?
Fine, come on in. Somebody I want you to meet. Shelley Lee, this is Ricky Decker. Ricky's going to be helping you out for a while. He's also going to be head of security for Mr. Wesley starting when? Right now.
Oh.
Great.
I didn't realize Mr. Wesley was so important. Private duty nurse, guards around the clock. Don't worry, I don't ask too many questions.
All you have to know is Rick is going to spell you for a while, and I'm going to have to get somebody to help you out, too. As a matter of fact, let's take care of that right now. And Shelley, you call me as soon as there's any change, okay?
Will do.
I hope that's soon. Hey, what's the matter? You getting lazy in your old age?
I'm not worrying about me. It's Iris. The longer this goes on, the rougher it's going to be on her.
I know. But what keeps me going is knowing that it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot rougher for Iris.
How's that?
Alex could be the one they're burying in that coffin tomorrow.
It's not on the front page. Isn't even in the obituaries. Alex. How could you die without making a mark? Oh, well. What's so bad about that? We're all destined to die. But Alex wanted to be Iris's husband before he died. Well, your dream came true, Alex. That's for sure. Rest in peace, Alex. Oh. Please, Sam, will you take that worried look off your face? I'm not drunk.
No? Looks like you're heading that way, though.
Oh, do I? Well, no. I'm just looking back at everything that's lost.
Why don't you forget the past and look to the future? I know you're not seeing it too clearly right now, but...
Oh, I see it perfectly. It's just like the present, only longer.
Come on, Aunt Vicky, the world's still there.
Oh, what's in it for me?
Well...
Oh, save your breath, Sam. I don't give a damn about the world anymore. Not now. Not now when Alex isn't in it anymore. And not now when Justin Marshall has murdered him in cold blood, shot him in the back. Oh, Sam. What way is that for a man like Alex to die? And do you know that there isn't even an obituary? There should be banner headlines saying, Alex Wheeler shot down by a sneaking, murdering psychopath.
We don't know that Justin did it.
I know he did.
He's only been charged with it.
Well, they'll convict him. And I hope they put him in a deep dungeon where he'll never see the sunlight again.
Aunt Vicky, you aren't being fair.
Why should I be fair? Was Alex fair to me? Was Iris? Was Justin? He took my life from me, and he should die for it.
You don't mean that.
With all my heart.
Aunt Vicky, he needs our help now.
Why should I help him?
Because he works for you.
Then he's fired.
Aunt Vicky.
I hate him, Sam. I hate him. I hope they put him in prison for life. Or better yet, I hope... I want to see that man dead.
Well, I just signed the house over to Wheeler. Now it's time.
Time, honey?
Time to get down to it. Start collecting what Wheeler owes to me.
Even knowing the way you felt, I still can't believe you did it. But now that I've tricked you into turning yourself in, what if they find you guilty? What if they don't believe you like I do? It's so unfair.
Now, what was all that fussing about, huh?
What are you, deaf or something?
Hey,
I said
hey,
I wanted to...
Hey. What's the matter?
Everything.
You want to talk about it?
It's Justin.
Can't believe he did it, huh? Neither can I.
Oh, Max, I'm just worried sick about him. He was gonna run. Did Kate tell you that?
Said you talked him out of it?
Yeah, but now what's gonna happen? I mean, I got him to surrender, but... Oh, Max, I may have given up his last chance to...
You did the right thing, honey.
Honey...
Sure. Even a cactus has a flower. Underneath all that armor you wear, there's a very lovely lady. Glad to see that she's finally coming out. I'm just sorry that it took Justin being charged with murder to do it.
Max, what's gonna happen to him?
Damned if I know. I still can't believe you talked him out of running. Justin never listens to anybody. Maybe it's just you he listens to.
Yeah, I know how to get to him.
Given enough time, I expect you could get to any man.
Any man except you. Guess I never learned how to speak your language or something because you sure as hell never listen to me.
Oh, no, I listen real careful. Every word. I just haven't liked much what I've heard. Until recently.
What happened recently?
Seeing you with your daddy. It's a whole other arena. Just now. Crying over Justin. I didn't think you had it in you. It's like I'm seeing you for the very first time. Maybe now I can understand why you have such a thorny disposition, huh?
Don't say that to me.
Why?
Because all of a sudden I'm feeling very naked.
Is that so terrible? Why? What are you afraid of?
I don't know. Maybe if you knew what I was really like, you wouldn't like me. Maybe you'd turn away. Maybe it would make you want to hurt me.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be.
True?
You trust me? I never lie. Of course, sometimes I exaggerate a little bit. Oh.
Come in.
Ryan, Sam Walker's in my office. Do you have some time?
Hey, I said no press statements.
I know that, Ryan. This is strictly personal.
Okay, Terry. Come on in, Sam. Have a seat.
You?
So, what's on your mind?
Justin,
And what about Justin?
I want to know if you think he killed Alex. Please, Ryan.
And what are you asking me for, huh?
Because I trust your opinion. When I was covering the hearings on Sheikh Zaidi's death, I learned to trust your judgment. So, what's the verdict?
On the surface, Justin adds up guilty. He's got no alibi, it was a perfect opportunity, a motive that everyone in this city knew. There's just one thing that doesn't add up. It's that gun he was carrying around.
What about it?
Did you see that rifle?
No.
Well, you should. It's a real antique. I doubt that there's a man alive in Texas that could have made that shot from that distance with that rifle.
Wait a minute, wait. Are you saying you don't think he did it?
I don't see how he could have.
Even though he has no alibi, even though he was picked up in the
Samantha,
garage?
I don't believe he did it.
All right. All right. I want to try to prove him innocent, and now you've given me a reason to try.
What was that for, huh?
For being so rational, for being so fair, even and not jumping to conclusions, even though it was your own uncle who was killed that night. I'm serious, Ryan. A lesser man would be out for Justin's blood without a second thought.
I don't know, I don't even remember. You better stop remembering, Birdbane. You better come up with where you left it fast, and you better find it before the cops do. But what if I don't even know where it is? Now look, Pinhead. You listen and you get this straight. The cops are gonna find that rifle, you understand? And when they do, they're gonna check what store sold it, and then they're gonna come straight to me. Now see if you can figure out this part. Guess who I'm gonna pass them on down to, huh? They're gonna be knocking on your door in a minute, right as soon as they find that rifle. So maybe you better search your memory real hard and see if you can come up and think where you left that rifle, right? Now, I hope you're not too drunk to get that part straight. You got it? I looked for it. Damn it, I never been that drunk! I remember if I climbed up that building if I did it. Because it was cold, I ain't no robot. Oh, wait a minute. I might not remember what I did exactly, but I do remember something. No, I was dreaming. Elena? No, I must have been dreaming. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't make no coffee that night. How did it end up that Curtis poured the whole pot on me? She was here. She's home right now.
Might not want to work today. Are you kidding? I am so excited about this that I practically flew home from school. Now, you sit there.
Good, good. That's what I like to see, somebody all fired up.
Well, what do you think? Is this a good place to practice or not?
I think that this is a great place. We won't be disturbing anybody.
Except for the horses.
Horses, they like music.
Well, some of them.
They all do. Especially this guy here. And we're going to be playing some scales here, stuff like that, okay? So you like that?
Some scales.
That's right.
Well, what about songs? I already know how to sing.
Scales, that's what we're doing first. Ready?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. This is ridiculous.
Come on, over and over again.
Well, you think this is going to help me?
Of course it's going to help you.
Nobody does scales.
Everybody does scales. That's how they practice. It helps on their intonation so that when they go for a note, they hit it square every time. All right. Sing the third note.
Oh, no. Okay, wait.
See?
All right, it was a little bit off. It was a little bit off.
It was a little bit off? It was way off. But, Elena, you know, I don't think that you're serious here. I don't think you want to be a musician. I think, you know what I think you want to do? I think you just want to flake off on me.
All right, okay, you win. I'm sorry. I am serious.
Delirious. Ready?
Okay.
Try it again. This time, listen. When I play it, listen. Get it in your head first, okay?
Okay. Could you play it once more, please? Oh, that was it. That was better.
That's it. You're getting better. Yeah, you are. You know, you got to be serious about this, because there's a lot of kids today that think they can get by on a nice, sweet little voice and a nice smile, but it does not work that way.
All right, well, I am going to work. I want to be good. No, I want to be great.
Good. But there are about 1,000 other kids out there that want to be great. But if you want to stand out, you got to give it everything you got. You understand that? Because the difference when it comes down to between you and everybody else is going to be that you have a lot of discipline and you got a lot of luck, and it's going to take like 95% hard work. You've got to keep your mind on music. You want to answer that phone, don't you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you go answer it then.
Hello?
Hey, Elena.
What do you want?
I just want to talk to you, little sugar bump. So what's the matter? Ain't you got time for your friends no more?
I'm busy right now.
Hey, Elena, this is really important. Listen, some bad things have been coming down for me, and I need to see you. Elena, you got to come see me. You got to meet me somewhere sometime tonight. And listen, Elena, please, you're the only one that can help me in this.
Well, gee, that's kind of tough, you know. I mean, if I'm the only one that can help you, then I guess you're just out of luck, because I'm busy.
Elena, wait.
See, I learn what you teach me.
That's good. That's real good. You ready?
I'm ready.
Stand up.
Stand up, okay?
Stand up straight. All right? Okay. Now breathe out. And put my hand right here on your diaphragm. Breathe out. Push against it. See that? Now that is where the notes come from. Straight.
You know, for somebody who's going to be in his hat pretty soon, you're filling up your stomach mighty quick.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Well, it sure was dumb of me betting that Justin Marshall was going to turn himself in.
Yeah, especially now that the victim's dead. Yeah, if Marshall thinks like I think he does, he's long gone by now.
Mm-hmm. But you did put out the pickup order anyways, right? And you're ready with the APB?
I'm one step ahead of you, Lieutenant.
Okay.
What's up?
Eat. Oh, knife and fork. I'm sorry. Napkin.
He's coming in.
Mm-hmm. His lawyer called about an hour ago, just before you left on your very short break.
Come on. He's coming in voluntarily? You didn't try to jump bail? I still don't believe it.
Yeah, well, you better start believing it.
Lieutenant?
How you doing, Mr. Billman? It's good to see you up and around.
I'm feeling much better, thank you. Just as happy not to be here under these circumstances, though.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you decided to be reasonable about this whole thing, Mr. Marshall. We were going to have to send for you. Put out a pickup order. You know, some folks around here thought we might even have to put out an APB. Thought you might have gone south for the winter. But it's like I said, anybody who's Stryker Bellman's representing, well, he just ain't about to run. But we were kind of wondering where you've been.
Just went home for a little while. Say goodbye to my family.
I thought those things were in here.
I got him. Hands out.
Sorry.
I don't think those are necessary, Donovan, do you?
Regulations. The victim died, Mr. Bellman. This time it's a heavy rap. This one could take him all the way.
before breakfast, when you first wake up. Remember, breakfast. I don't want to be without you even for a little while.
Like a dream, the sun drives away.
Says he knows you. Shall I ask him to come in?
But I don't believe I remember you.
Hi there, pretty lady. I'm Alex Wheeler of Texas. And you, of course, are unforgettable.
Of course. It's all right, Alfred. So, tell me, Mr. Wheeler, what brings you here? Have we really met before?
Shall we dance?
Nothing will ever part us again, Alex. Nothing in this world. Oh.
Alexander, do you take this woman, Iris, to be your lawful wedded wife? I do. Iris, do you take this man, Alexander, to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Alex, place the ring on Iris's hand and repeat after me. Iris, with this ring I thee wed. Iris, with this ring I thee wed. Now I have a son, our son.
Yes.
This is another miracle that I owe to you. Can we make that voyage we should have made so long ago?
Yes, darling. Yes.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Texas, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Remember, breakfast. I don't want to be without you even for a little while. In the morning. In the morning.
In the morning, darling. Remember, Alex.
Iris.
Remember. In the morning.
Iris, it's time.
Time?
For the service.
You go, Ronnie. I can't.
Oh, that's all right. Take a minute for yourself. Huh? They'll wait.
All those people with their flowers and eulogies. I can't. To put him in the ground and walk away.
Not really, no. Because that's not Alex. He's still with us. He's still with you. Just the way he wanted to be, all right?
Where? Don't tell me any comforting lies. I am not a child, Ryan. Can I touch him? Can I call to him and hear him answer? Alex, where are you? I need you. Oh. I am a child, aren't I?
No. You just hurt.
All I want is to sleep.
Did you have a bad night?
Oh, not so bad. Not so bad as morning. Just now I was dreaming. Remembering, really. What's the difference? What happened, what might have happened. It's all one long sleep. I was dreaming and I wished. My daddy used to say that when you dream, a part of you is waking someplace else, where the air sparkles as brightly as diamonds. Or so he said. All the lost things go there. Alex is there, and I'm there too sometimes. We're young, and we're dancing. The things people tell children.
Iris.
Look, don't feel sorry for me. I'm a fool. I squandered the time with my lies and delays. In all my life, I learned nothing. I'm selfish. I'm weak. I can't even be left alone without crumbling.
You're not alone. Look, we're family now. I'm here. I'm going to help you.
Then bring him back. How dare he leave me again? How dare he? Alex, I loved you.
Iris, listen to me. Listen to me. What you're feeling now, it's all my fault. I don't expect you to forgive me.
Oh, you feel that way too?
What way?
I just keep thinking how different it all would be if only I had him back.
Why? What would you do if you had him back?
I'd hide him. I'd take him away and keep him all to myself so no one else could ever hurt him. You see, the guilt, it isn't just you.
Yeah. Thanks.
So it's all right. You can tell me.
No, it's nothing important. Nothing important.
Something you've done?
No, it's just the will, that's all. Alex's will.
I can't think about that.
I know, but Stryker wants to go ahead. He's coming here after the funeral. Look, I'm sorry. I should have said no.
No. There are things to be done. When all of this is over, I think I'll go away for a while. Perhaps on the yacht. But for now, it's time to do my duty.
Oh, Chuck, I see nothing worrisome about that. Bart Walker's been after my hide ever since I got to Houston. Oh, fine. Let him think it's irregular. Well, in that case, why don't you pat his hand and sing him a lullaby? What have I let Connor talk me into here?
I need you to sign a death certificate. And after that, you're going to have to get hospital clearance. I want you to arrange a private suite for him. I want you to get him in under another name as a newly admitted patient.
See just how many laws do you expect me to break?
I expect you to help me keep him alive. Now, that's it. That's your duty as a doctor, right? Okay. We'll register him under Arthur Wesley. That's W-S-L-E-Y. We'll keep him under wraps until I can find his assassin, or until he recovers well enough to make his own decisions.
What made me say yes? Why put my head in the block for him?
Courtney, what in the world is going on? What's Kevin hiding? The mortality committee meeting on Wheeler is supposed to be posted today. It's not.
Oh, I see. The meeting's late, so Kevin's
It's not
hiding
late.
something.
There isn't going to be a meeting.
Of course there's going to be a meeting, Bart. There's always
I just talked to Dr. Sloan. He says hospital procedures are suspended for this case for, quote, compelling reasons, unquote. And get this. Kevin performed the autopsy himself, or so the records have it. Now tell me that isn't strange.
I'm sure there's a simple explanation for this, really.
Yeah?
Bart. Well, why don't we just ask Kevin, okay? Kevin? Is something wrong? Something concerning Alex Wheeler?
Good morning. Has Iris, Mrs. Wheeler, left for the service yet, do you know?
Oh, she's just inside. Are you Mr. Carrington?
Elliot, yes. I'm sorry, have we met?
I'm Virginia Marshall. Ginny? Barrett's wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I'm honored. I don't mean to sound artificial, I am. Honestly. Your husband, Iris.
Elliot. How very good of you to be here. I'm glad.
You knew I would be.
I hoped so.
Iris, I know this is difficult for you. I want to do whatever I can. It's true, Wheeler and I differed, but...
I know. Thank you.
Connor?
Iris, you remember Jenny, don't you?
Yes, I remember, Mrs. Marshall. Are we ready to go?
Mrs. Carrington, I'm so sorry.
Isn't it odd how people seem to think I'm not married because my husband was murdered at the ceremony?
I'm sorry. Mrs. Wheeler, that's what I meant to say.
Of course, being Justin's sister, I'm sure your friend would like to forget.
No. Sister-in-law.
But we are very close.
Yes, that's right. Poor thing. You'd best say goodbye now, Ryan. Has Jack brought the car around?
Jenny's coming with us.
I don't think that's advisable. Do you? I mean, there won't be enough room for you and me and Elliot and your friend.
I can drive. I brought my car.
My whole family regrets that.
So perhaps you should ask your friend to take a taxi. Or better yet, go home. Tell her we commend the Marshalls for sending a representative, but there are those who may misinterpret.
I can hear you myself. I am here.
Jenny and I are engaged. We're going to be engaged. So where I go, she goes.
You sure you won't mind letting us press you and your car into service?
Of course not, if it'll help.
I'm sure we'll all be much more comfortable. And I'll have someone with me who understands. Here we go.
Goodbye. Sorry for the... Well, pleasure to have met you.
Why did I come here? You know, she's right. I should never have... I knew this would happen.
Come on, you wanted to be here, remember? Look, she was angry. She was upset. She doesn't blame you. She blames Justin.
Then why do I feel like I've been frozen from head to toe?
She was wrong, okay? And unfair. But don't let that keep you from doing what you know you should do, all right?
I should go home.
We're each other's family now. Or almost. So home is with me. Stay.
Hey, look who's up! Sleeping Beauty! Or is he one of the 7 dwarfs? Drinking coffee? You trying to ruin your reputation? Or is it just dirty bourbon?
I've been thinking, Bernie.
Huh?
I've been thinking.
You in trouble or what?
I've been thinking about you and me pulling up stakes and moving on, huh? I figured we had enough of this town, don't you? I hear there's lots of pesos to be made in Mexico.
Mexico? What are you going to tell the parole board? Ole? You get fired or what?
Me? Heck no.
Then how come you don't go to work anymore?
Complications, Bern. You want your money, I'll give you money.
Or is it maybe because somebody put a hole in the back of that guy that owned the world?
I told you, man, I didn't have nothing to do with that. Get that through your thick head, huh? Besides, you said yourself I was so antsy about it, I'd drank myself blind.
Hey, come on, Billy Joe. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I know you didn't shoot anybody. If you get your nose out of that cup, you find out the cops know it, too. Take a gander.
Justin Marshall?
Plus Exhibit A. A rifle they practically had to pry him loose from.
Hell without bail.
Oh,
I'm big number one.
man, that baby's gonna burn.
Sure got him over a barrel, all right.
So what do you say we save Tijuana for retirement, huh? We can win her right here in scenic Houston.
All right? All right.
All right, all right, all right.
Something wrong? You mean aside from the fact Alex Wheeler died immediately after surgery? Come in, you two. I've been expecting you, Dr. Walker.
Look, Kevin, I realize that you enjoy pretending that I know nothing and I'm nobody. But even you can't make me disappear. I admitted Alex Wheeler. I assisted at his surgery. That committee has a right to my testimony.
The committee isn't going to meet.
At your request, no doubt.
Only Chuck Sloan has that authority.
Which he'd never use. Unless there was something to hide.
Are you accusing me of unethical conduct?
I'm accusing you of arrogance. Of obstructing hospital procedure. And if you think that a patient is your private
Hospital
property...
routine is not cast in bronze.
No, you sang a different tune before, Kevin. Routine was why you wouldn't let Ryan Connor guard Zeddy.
I know it. Still after me for that, aren't you, Bart? Well, tell me, please, just what does it take? I've already admitted I was wrong. But this time, Connor was in OR when we operated on Alex. You remember, you were there. This time I listened to Connor.
Well, I wonder how he'd like it if he knew his uncle's death wasn't properly investigated.
There's something wrong with this office. Doesn't look like mine anymore. Terry, I'm all right. I just hate days like this. It's a normal day for everyone else. You see them down there on the street. They all look busy. I just want to break out that window and scream to them. Hey, y'all, have you heard? Alex is dead. He's dead. That bullet hit all of us. Alex is dead. I can't stop talking. Do you have anything for me to type?
Look, why don't we go in the office and I'll fix you a drink, all right?
No, I'd rather stay in here. Please. Look, I have all this mail to look over.
Isn't there anybody that can stay with her? Where's Ricky? He was at the funeral.
He's taking care of something for me.
Thought he probably felt too guilty.
No, we talked. He's fine. It's all right. She wants to be alone.
And what about you?
With you around?
No, you're amazing. I mean, one minute you're either a pillar of strength, or you're...
Or what, a pillar of salt? Is that what you're going to say?
all in stride. Not a trace of sadness, or memories, not even silence. I thought you and Alex were very close.
We were.
Well, maybe it hasn't hit you yet. Maybe it's hard for you to believe that it's really happened.
Hey, come on, you know me. I'm not made of stone. I do feel, and I feel what I ought to feel, all right?
I'm not sure I always understand you, Ryan. Your life is, it seems like a big invisible tangle of connections and commitments and things that really have no room for me. And obliquely with you. Or what I think is you. I mean, every man has to protect his own. I know that. And every woman, too. But where will it all end?
I don't know. Everything just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I do know the terms of my uncle's will, though. I'm going to be named Chief Executive Officer of World Oil Transport.
Ryan?
I know. One of the biggest fleets of tankers in the world. I'm going to be working 30-hour days, at least for a while.
Well, the business part I understand. But there's something that you're not...
Look. No man shoots my uncle in the back and walks away. Nobody.
You don't mean Justin?
No. The more I look at the case against him, the less I believe. I just remember what Alex said. Justin didn't do it.
Then who do you think did?
No excuse for that sort of thing. I'm a newsman myself, but I like to think I'm not a lout.
I'm sorry we're late, Ryan. If I kept Stryker waiting, we ran into some reporters.
No, he's not here yet.
I'd like to rest. You'll call me when he comes?
Can I bring you something, Iris? A drink? Might relax you.
Yes, thank you.
One of the things I missed most in my captivity, martinis. Symbol of Western civilization. Helps us endure the unendurable.
I remember when we first met, you had trouble talking about your experience in the prison camp. Has it gotten any easier?
Why do you ask?
Well, Jenny wanted to learn more about
Yes, of course. About your husband. I did receive your message at KVIK. I'm sorry I never got back to you, but things have been hectic here since...
I understand, Elliot. I know you must have many things on your mind. I suppose that now isn't a very good time to talk about it either.
I don't see why not. Please, sit down. Martini.
No, thank you.
I'll be in Terry's office if you need me, all right?
Thanks.
But I can't help feeling that Elliot Carrington is a dangerous man. He could be a very dangerous man.
That's terrific. Did you write that yourself?
Uh-oh, Madame Curie's on the prowl.
Yeah, well, you just watch what you play here. We don't want these horses going punk on us.
It's just all rock and roll to them.
Kate kick you out of the house?
It's just all rock and roll to her, too. Hey, is Elena home from school yet?
School's not out for an hour. Are you waiting for her?
We practice in here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Practice what?
eating hay.
I take it you found her the other night.
She kind of found me.
Oh, that's a mean trick. I'll have to ask her how she does it.
Oh, you don't do too bad at that there, Courtney.
Well, let's see what we can put together here, shall we? Somehow, you managed to run into Elena, and now you're making beautiful music together. Is that how you got her to come back to the ranch? Promised her you'd help her with her music? Her singing? Sure it is. And now you're afraid that if you leave, she'll run away again. How'd I do?
Well, you got nothing over Scotland Yard except the promise you got me pegged here as a saint.
Well, a cross between that and a royal pain.
Well, that's right, except there's got to be a motive there, Sherlock.
I got half a motive for you.
Yeah?
Suzanne.
You know, that big mouth.
Jeb, why don't you and your big mouth finish the story for me? I mean, I know what happened to her. I want to know what happened to you. I know you loved her very much.
Yeah, well, every time I said I loved her, goodbye came right after that. Next thing I knew, I was in the Army. The rest is history.
Jeb. Elena's not Suzanne. You can't give her the balance that you think someone else needed.
Why not?
You can't erase the past.
Yeah, but you can keep it from happening again.
Or die trying.
Well, listen, that's the way it's gonna be, okay? Nothing personal there, Sherlock.
Don't count on it.
Virginia Marshall. Jenny. How's Grandma Kate?
Well, she's fine. You know Kate?
Little Stephen?
He's fine.
Must be quite a young man by now.
Elliot, I'm sorry. Have you been out to the ranch before?
Again and again. You any idea, Jenny Marshall, of the myth you became to a handful of lost men halfway across the world? No, of course you couldn't, but in the camp, in the jungle, your name was synonymous with beauty, grace, home. You see, memory was a treasure there. The only one remaining to us, some of us. Memory was also an early casualty for some of us. Sometime in the second year, they said, things began to fade, to get lost, but Barrett kept his memories. And I, for better or for worse, still have mine. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this too difficult for you?
Oh, no. Go on.
Those of us who could remember were obliged to tell stories. It struck me early on how ironic it was that in all my travels I'd found nothing worth remembering But Barrett had you and Texas. Barrett scoured his memory for every domestic incident, and your lives became more real to us than our own. Cambodian, Frenchman, Vietnamese, we all felt as though we'd wandered in Kate's garden and groomed horses in your stable. We felt we'd lived his life with him. And the legend of you and Kate and Mike and the old place that had been the same for generations and always would be became a promise we all shared.
And mine, too. And it was just a fantasy. You're a storyteller, Elliot. You made Barrett come alive for me. Are you sure that... Did you see him die?
Yes. I'm sorry. I saw him shot. I saw him die.
You were there. You were watching, though I never knew it. Oh. If only I could feel you watching over me now. What am I going to do, Alex? How do I begin? And why?
Iris? Oh, I'm sorry I startled you.
Doesn't matter. It's a very old recording.
Would you like some company?
Thank you, I would. When I'm alone, I start remembering.
Oh, yes. The great scourge. I've been doing a bit of that myself. And I have determined beyond the slightest shade of doubt that there is no such thing as a pleasant memory. You hear the poets go on about them, but tell me one. That's what I say.
How many of these have you had, Elliot?
2.
You may be right. Even if what we're recalling is pleasant, it makes the present all the worse.
Most memories are humiliating and full of people you detest. Why is that? I find myself despising perfectly good people who've really done nothing worse than have the ill luck to appear in a dream or two of mine.
I used to despise people I'd wronged.
Yes. I know.
Have you been thinking about Dennis and me?
Among other things.
Do you hate me, Elliot?
Yes. Would you like some ice in that?
No.
It's dry enough.
Quite. You said you didn't.
Consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. Mind you, it doesn't mean that I don't recognize that you're a superior woman. I'd never have married you if I hadn't known that. And you... do you spend your private hours vilifying me as I do you?
Oh, I certainly hated you once.
For not being Wheeler?
Yes. But what does it matter? My whole life has been a long, false start, full of wild feints and stratagems I launched because I never knew the truth. I never knew someone could love me.
I did.
That's not the point. When Alex left me, I did something to you I couldn't live with.
We may talk about Plato and Emerson, but when the books are closed and the backs are turned, we do what we think we have to do, don't we?
I don't think survival is that important anymore. Look at me. Is this what I have been fighting for all these years? No. I've come to think that the most important thing to seek is forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Why do you say that?
If Alex were here, I'd ask him to forgive the obstacles I made for us, the evasions. Forgiveness was all he asked of me. If I'd granted it sooner, we would have had more time, despite the waste before. I wonder, Elliot, if you could ever forgive me for putting my survival above yours. I don't want that on my conscience any longer.
You can't clear your conscience like a slate.
I know. 25 years of lies. But I have nothing left to fight you with. Hate me if you like. I can't return it. All my passion went with Alex.
Of course, I don't hate you. How could I? I loved you once.
Then forgive me.
No.
Forget your pride and all the rest of it. We both have no one but Dennis.
I can't.
We were a family once.
Who am I to forgive anyone?
Neither of us deserve it.
It's that simple. And God be thanked. Yes. We're forgiven.
I think that's already fixed. Well, I guess I'll just have to check on it. This goes into next year's file. I haven't made them yet. Well, I guess I'll make them now.
You all right? What did he, No, forget it. You don't have to tell me.
He saw him die. He saw Barry die. And he made me see it. Brian, I never even thought about that. Him actually dying. It was just like you said. They were trying to escape. He was trying to come home. And then what are they?
Khmer Rouge.
They opened fire on him. He saw Barry fall. He saw him dead. And so do I.
Jenny, was he sure?
Yes, he knew Barry. He Then Barrett kept them all together. Then he told them all about Steve and me and Texas. It's all he cared about was coming home. It's all he talked about. Oh, Brian, he loved us that much.
He was a good man. And you're a good woman. And that's the best. Look, did Elliot tell you what happened next? He says all the others died. Why did he escape alone? Did he tell you?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't ask him. Is that so strange, though? I mean, doesn't that happen in wars?
That happens, but not by accident.
But I can't help feeling that Elliot Carrington's a dangerous man. He could be a very dangerous man.
Hey, baby. The day is done. It's happy hour. What do you say we go get some happy?
Happiness is a dry martini, some soft music on the stereo, and a nice big shoulder to lean my head on, and I've got all three at home. So buzz off, big boy.
Okay, baby, you're not playing. That's your tough luck. But until you've seen my sports car and had dinner with the Clip, you ain't lived.
Clipper!
At your service, boss. Clipper Curtis, dispenser of good cheer, looking for a lovely lady like yourself.
Ah, well, I'm just looking for a little advice right now.
Keep that hairstyle, I like it. But get some contacts, huh? Your eyes are far too pretty to hide behind those picture windows.
Oh, well, thanks, but that's not the kind of advice I was looking for.
Need a good watering hole? I know a great little place.
Not that either. I'm looking for a driver. I've ordered a new sports mobile unit, and I need a good man to drive it.
The only thing I drive is my sports car, but it's a two-seater. Plenty of room for you and me to drive off slowly through the traffic jams.
Clipper, I don't need a ride home. What I need is a recommendation for a driver.
I'd recommend
Excuse me?
Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, I'm Samantha Walker from KVI-KTV.
Ah, thanks. Excuse me, you were saying?
I called earlier about an interview with a former employee of mine, Justin Marshall.
Ah, yes, he's just come in, Miss Walker, from jail. We're transporting the prisoner to the courthouse for arraignment.
Oh.
But, I could let you see him for a couple of minutes.
Okay, thanks. Do I have to...
You can just walk right on over and talk to him, ma'am.
Hey.
Hey.
You okay? Jail must be pretty awful.
Cheer up, Sam. It's not as bad as that jail in Naples. I ran over that street light, started the fire. Of course, it's not quite as nice as a first-class hotel in London.
You look so sad. Try not to get too demoralized.
I'd feel the way I feel right now, even if the police didn't think that I did it. It's not being here that's eating away at me. It's not even what might happen to me.
Justin, wait a minute. I don't understand. Do you understand what's happening here?
Yeah. I understand. Look, it's what I did before, what I can't escape from. What I did to Alex Wheeler.
Justin?
His death awakened me from a nightmare. created another one. I hounded him, Sam. I hounded him right to the brink of his grave, blaming him for my father's death. He didn't shame my father. He didn't cause his death. When I think of how I stalked him, now I know how he must have felt. Now I know when it's too late.
Justin, you've got more important things to do now. You've got to prove you didn't do it. And I'm here to help you any way I can.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. What about the others? KVIK? They feel the same way?
I wish I didn't have to tell you this.
What?
Vicky's fired you.
Are you sure you're up to this?
No.
Oh, excuse me, Ryan. Oh, Iris. Oh. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am. I know how heavy your grief must be. I will try to dispense with the business part of this as quickly and easily as I can. I just wish I didn't have to involve you in all these details right now.
Or do you have to? Maybe it could wait a week.
No, I'm sorry, but we've got to get through the formal reading of Alex's will now, I'm afraid. You see, the estate is so large and complex, there's no way of putting off the probate. The companies that do business with World Oil are getting pretty nervous as it is.
Yes.
It's all right. I understand.
Iris?
It's all right. I'm fine. I just want to get this over with. Please, Stryker, I'm ready. Let's get it over with.
I'm sorry, but we can't begin just yet.
Can't?
What's going on here? I thought you were the one who was in a hurry.
Well, there's another party mentioned in the will.
Fine, of course.
Well, no, Terry's waiting outside in her office, of course, but this is somebody else.
Oh.
We can't begin the reading until this other party has arrived.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Dennis.
Listen, I'm really not sure why I'm here. All I know is Stryker Bellman called me and told me to meet him in Alex Wheeler's office. So, but
Just come with me, huh?
okay. You know what this is about?
Come in, son. We've been waiting for you.
Don't worry about Vicky. You know how close she was to Alex. She's just reacting blindly. You can't expect her to be objective now, but given time...
Given time, she'll want to see me pay like everyone else in Houston.
No, that's not true. Once she learns the facts,
It occurred to you. It occurred to you, too, didn't it? The facts are all against me. There are no facts coming to my rescue.
No, but...
But nothing. Sam, I don't have an alibi. I was found in the vicinity of the crime, in the basement of the building. The fact is, I was trying to get to my car. And another thing, they found my rifle in my car.
You listen to me. You didn't do it. And we're going to prove that. We will. I know we will.
Will we?
Mr. Marshall.
We will. He didn't do it. You know that, don't you?
Ma'am?
You read the ballistics report, didn't you?
Sure.
Well, I talked to someone who knows guns, and he said that the best shot in Texas couldn't have made the shot that killed Wheeler with that antique blunderbuss of Justin's.
And he had a Winchester, ma'am. A blunderbuss is a different...
That's not the point. Justin's rifle didn't kill anyone. It couldn't have. Isn't that true?
Well, that's not for me to say. That's up to the DA to decide. What I've heard is he just can't say for sure yet. Might have been, might not have been. They're having problems down in ballistics, that's all I know. It's gonna be hard to match that bullet.
That's some kind of proof then, isn't it?
Look, they might never be able to say that his rifle did or didn't do the killing. But one thing they can say for sure, that fella and that rifle were right there where they needed to be.
That's nothing. That's just circumstantial.
Yeah, we'll say it is. How many other rifles do we know for sure were there?
It doesn't matter how many other ones were there. There only had to be one other rifle. The one that did the killing.
Sure, lady. Now, you let me know if you find it, yeah?
You can just bet I will.
Come on in, son. Take a seat. We can begin now. Terry, won't you sit down?
Mom.
Darling, just sit down, please.
Elliot, would you be good enough to excuse us now?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking.
No, Elliot, stay, please.
Iris, there are certain customs that govern...
Stryker, please. I feel alone enough as it is. Elliot is close to me. He was my husband once, and he's a most trusted advisor. I want him to stay.
It doesn't matter, Iris. Call me at work when it's over.
There's no reason on earth why Elliot should have to leave.
Iris, please bear with me. We're here for a formal purpose. Our business is Alex's estate and the succession. After it's been read, the beneficiaries have the right to reveal its contents to anyone they choose. But for the time being, it's my duty to keep the extent and dispersion of the estate private.
Stryker's right. Anyway, I need to get back to work. So, excuse me, everyone.
Thanks very much, Elliot.
Oh, not at all.
That applies to me, too. I don't belong here either.
No, you're wrong, son. Please, now take a seat next to your mother. I'll get right on with the reading of it. Come on.
Well, I'll give you credit for nerve, Junior, but no, honey. You don't work here anymore.
Huh?
See, your job evaporated the first night that you didn't show up for work. Bye-bye.
Hey, you're not gonna hold that against me, are you? I've been a loyal employee. I mean, well, give me a break, huh? I've been having all sorts of family troubles, you know. Me and my old lady, we split up, and, well, I've been real off-balanced, and, well, I had to find a new place to live and everything.
You are boring me, Junior.
Besides, I tried to, you know, to explain. I kept on calling and calling, but there was never no answer, you know? I guess that's on account of all the hell that was breaking loose around here.
Oh, it was hell, all right. Never seen anything like it. One minute it was a big society wedding, and the next it was...
Yeah, I guess I just would have been in the way if I was around here, huh?
Well, it's just been a madhouse ever since. Police tripping all over themselves. I guess they all wanted to get a good look at it, you know? I just now got rid of the last of them, and the maintenance men just finally replaced the glass.
Yeah? Well, things all look straightened out now, you know? I mean, the place is looking real good. And, well, what do you think? We gonna be ready to open up for business tonight?
And to Teresa Decker, loyal friend and valued assistant, 0.5% of the World Oil Transport stock wholly owned in the name of Alexander Wheeler, and a sum to be named in codicil. And now, finally, the disposition of the remainder of Alex's estate. He specifies the following in his will. To my beloved nephew, Ryan Connor, 1/3 of all my holdings in World Oil, not otherwise disposed of, as well as responsibility for managing or disposing of said holdings on behalf of himself and my other major beneficiaries. To my beloved wife, Iris Corey Wheeler, 1/3 of all my holdings. And to Dennis Carrington, her son, 1/3 of all my holdings. Tendered this day...
Wait a minute. Wheeler's leaving me 1/3 of his estate?
That's right. Of course, there's no formal accounting yet, but after the bequest to Terry and to Alex's sister and to the others mentioned by name in the will, there's going to be a substantial sum of money to be divided between your mother and Ryan and you, Dennis. I would estimate that value would be, well, somewhere in excess of several $100 million.
Mom, what's going on here?
If I may be allowed to advise the beneficiaries. Now, you have all heard that Alex named Ryan as the chairman and chief executive officer of World Oil. You realize how much faith he had in you, son. Dennis, you and your mother make up the rest of the executive committee. I do hope that you will both be able to agree with Ryan's judgments in order to expedite the whole transition period. And it's the only way that we can minimize the negative effects that World Oil can expect when the will is filed for probate.
Look, forget it.
Well, now, son...
Look, I said forget it. Wait a minute. And you can forget about any agreements or organizational transitions or any other of this bad joke that involves me because I don't want to be involved, all right?
But, son, you are involved.
Look, then uninvolve me. You're a lawyer. I don't want any part of Wheeler's will or anything else.
Elliot, do you have a minute?
Sure, what's up?
A problem maybe you can help me with. You want to sit down?
Sure.
I was hoping that maybe you could advise me about something.
Sure, what do you mean?
I want to know how you go about finding out if somebody purchased a rifle recently.
Well, they don't register rifles in Texas. You can buy one at any sporting goods store. That is, if you wanted to leave any trace at all. There are illegal sources in Houston, I'd imagine.
I see.
But if you want my help, be more specific. What rifle? Who do you think purchased it? Are you sure it was purchased recently? I'd have to know all of that, and, well, I'd be curious to know why you want to know.
If it was bought illegally, what then?
Well, then you probably wouldn't ever find out any more about it. Might have been stolen 1,000 miles away, smuggled in. Illegal gun merchants aren't a talkative lot. If you made them nervous with your questions, they might use you for target practice.
I've got to find out somehow.
Why?
Because if I don't, then Justin...
Oh, I understand. You were concerned about Justin. Well, actually, I don't understand. The police already have the rifle he used.
They don't have the right rifle. They don't even have the right man.
You know, right. If I could get any decent help, you wouldn't get a second chance, believe me.
But I'm just irreplaceable, right, boss?
Just cheaper to take you back than run the ad any longer.
You're swell.
You're not, honey. At least you don't try to drink up all my profits.
I guess you'll be offering me a raise soon, huh?
Just get back to work right before my... Just stay out of my way, honey. One last thing, Mr. Wright. You owe me for this second chance, so when and if I need a favor, honey, you'll be there, won't you?
You know me. Thanks, boss.
Hi.
How you doing? For once, Lady Luck is finally going my way. Yes, sir. Marshall's in stir, and Billy Joe is back at the top of the world.
What are you talking about? He had motive, opportunity, and means. If Justin didn't do it, who do you think did?
Well, I'm not sure. But see how this sounds to you. I was at the wedding, and just before Alex Wheeler was shot, Clipper Curtis showed up at the door. He wanted to warn Alex about Justin.
Well, all the more reason to suspect Justin, then.
Is it? You've been in the newsroom long enough to notice that Justin is very hostile towards Clipper. And then all of a sudden, Clipper manages to get close to Justin. Put that together with his little act at the wedding, and doesn't that sound suspicious?
You suspect Clipper? I mean, if he was at the wedding, he could hardly have...
Right. He couldn't have pulled the trigger. But think back to the night before. You were working, right?
Yes.
Well, there was this guy, this young guy. He came in looking for Clipper, remember?
No, not quite.
Well, come on, Elliot, think. This young guy was carrying a package, and he tried to give that package to Clipper. Could have been a rifle.
Clipper Curtis?
That away. I wish I'd stayed to listen. Damn. I wonder what Clipper's little friend was doing while Clipper was showing off how worried he is about Alex Wheeler.
Now, Iris, don't pay the boy's behavior any mind. He's just letting his confusion talk. He'll come around.
No, he won't. You don't know Dennis Stryker. I hardly know him anymore.
Well, be that as it may, the boy's got plenty of time to see things differently. The succession hasn't even formally opened yet. These are just the preliminary stages.
Well, what happens if he never changes his mind?
Well, I never even thought about that. I don't think I'm going to have to think about it. Look, as I said, give the boy a little time. He's going to have enough of it to get used to his new role. And then, if you like, we'll have Ryan take Dennis under his wing and train him in some executive position for World Oil. That way he'll feel like he's more a part of things. You'd be willing to do that, wouldn't you, Ryan?
Sure, Stryker.
Somehow I'll have to persuade Dennis to do that.
Iris, try to ease yourself about the business details. I'm going to be here to keep a close eye on things for you. Don't fret yourself about details yet now.
All right, Stryker. Thank you.
Now, listen, everybody. I think that about ends our business here today. If you'll excuse me, I have to get into criminal court this afternoon for Justin's arraignment.
What? What did you say?
Well, Justin Marshall's being charged this afternoon.
And you're going to represent him?
I am?
That butcher? You're going to represent the man who killed Alex? You can't.
Yes, I can, and I will. Now, I mean to see that Justin Marshall has a fair trial. That means he's going to have competent counsel. Iris, you see, the Marshalls and the Bellmans go back a long way.
How can you? He murdered my husband. Your friend. How can you? Have you no loyalty at all? I've heard that lawyers were prostitutes, but this is unconscionable.
Iris, I regret causing you more pain. I regret your misfortunes. But I don't believe that Justin Marshall is the cause of them. He didn't kill Alex, and I mean to prove that in court. Now, if for some reason or other you see a conflict of interest in my defending Justin, I'll be perfectly happy to step aside in the matter of Alex's succession. I'm sure that Ryan will be able to find proper counsel to handle the disposition of Alex's will. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm late. I have to go. But understand me. Nothing in creation will cause me to forsake Justin Marshall in his time of need.
Terry, get me the district attorney on the phone.
But Iris,
Please, just do as I say.
you were there. Did you hear what was said?
I don't think so. I can't remember.
Try, please. It could be important.
You never called or came by the club.
I've been broadcasting a game on it. What are you trying to do, man? Coming here like this, carrying that thing? You crazy punk, are you trying to ruin me?
It's you trying to ruin me, old buddy.
Lord, you're drunk as a skunk. Can't you stay sober for one day? Wait until after the wedding. You can stay drunk for a month on champagne after that.
Well, you listen. Oh, buddy. I thought this whole thing out. I want to know who in the world you want to get crazy enough to take a pot shot at Alex Wheeler on his wedding day, huh? You want to get done? Do it yourself. Here.
No. Sorry. I guess I just wasn't paying attention. I was working on a story.
It's a shame. It could have been some kind of planning session.
Yes, well, I have work of my own to do, if you'll excuse me, Sam. Good luck.
Thanks.
The district attorney himself referred me to you, Mr. Blackwell, so surely you can tell me more than that. I know Justin Marshall is to be arraigned today. What I need to know is the charge you intend to bring. As Alex Wheeler's widow, I feel I have a right to know that much.
Yes, Mrs. Wheeler. I'll tell you where we are with this thing right now.
I've just been going over the ballistic study, and we have a very weak case. Marshall's paraffin test came back negative.
Paraffin?
Well, that's how we determine if the suspect has fired a weapon recently. It's not foolproof.
He could have worn gloves.
Yes, I suppose that's possible. But beyond that, we haven't been able to make a definite match with the bullet fragments and the rifle found in Marshall's car.
What does that mean exactly?
In terms of the case, we made a tentative decision to ask that Justin Marshall be bound over on suspicion of murder charge.
Suspicion?
Just for now. What with the ballistics...
That won't do. It's not good enough. Justin Marshall murdered my husband. And I will bring in any ballistics expert in the world to help you prove that. But in the meantime, you simply cannot let him out on bail. Now, if he were merely a suspect, he could get bail, couldn't he?
Well, yes.
But not if he's charged with first-degree murder.
There'd be no bail in that case.
Can you arrange that?
First-degree murder...
Since it's obvious he's guilty, I trust you will arrange that he's charged with what he did.
Mrs. Wheeler, until we have a stronger case, I'm not certain that that's the wisest thing to do.
Ah, very well, young man. I'll speak to the district attorney, and he'll see that you do the right thing.
No, that won't be necessary. I guess we'd get there anyway, eventually. So, all right, Mrs. Wheeler, I agree with you. The charge will be first-degree murder.
Good. I'm glad to hear you say that, Mr. Blackwell. Thank you. Am I to assume you don't share my feelings, even though it was your uncle Justin murdered?
Well, you can assume that I'd feel more comfortable if the law was just allowed to take its natural course without outside influence, yes.
Then we have no disagreement. That course suits me fine as long as it sends Justin Marshall where he belongs.
Look, perhaps you've forgotten. I heard Alex say that he didn't believe Justin shot him.
Yes, I remember that. It was the final, generous gesture of a man who was loving and kind. But I intend to see that he has his vengeance.
Harris, where are you going?
I'm going to the court building for that arrangement. I'm going to make sure that young man does charge Justin with first-degree murder, as he said he would.
Look, I don't think you should be going anywhere.
But I have to.
Come on, you look weak. When's the last time you've eaten?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
You haven't eaten anything since this all started. Look, why don't you do as you planned? Go to the yacht, get some rest. Just forget about all this vengeance right now. Just let the law take its own course as it should, please.
Yes, perhaps. Yes. I want to go to the yacht. I feel close to him there, on the yacht where we met. That's what I need, to feel him near me again. Be close to him. I need that even more than vengeance.
Terry, make arrangements for Iris to go to the yacht, will you please?
Such a long face.
You mind if I have another one?
Sure. Junior? Of course, you know there are other cures for the blues. Just what are your blues, honey?
I got a phone call from Alex Wheeler's attorney asking me to show up in Alex Wheeler's office.
Stryker.
Yeah, Stryker. Anyway, the message was, I'm in Wheeler's will.
Baby, that's wonderful.
For a third of the estate.
A third? Why on earth are you so downhearted?
Can't decide what to buy first? Only kidding, Dennis. Really, I was just kidding.
What could possibly be wrong, honey?
It's just... I can't believe it. I mean, I really don't want to... I don't want to believe it. A few weeks ago, I was out of town trying to scrounge up a few $1,000s to keep the gallery running. That's why I wasn't here when Dawn was attacked. I mean, that's why we broke up. I was out of town trying to scrounge up a few $1,000s, and she was here, being hurt.
Your logic is escaping me, Dennis. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe it only makes a very personal kind of sense. A few weeks ago, all I wanted to do was make money. And now, I'd gladly give up 1,000 times that amount if I could have her back again, if we could be together again.
Sounds like a bad bargain to me.
Why? You think money is more important than love, don't you?
No. No, that's not true, Dennis. I value love very highly. It's just that sometimes I think that real money can be more valuable than illusory love.
Illusory?
Oh, Dennis. Surely you realized how young Dawn is. I mean in years as well as experience. Much younger than you. She's ever going to be a real woman for a real man. Well, I'm her sister, but I'll be the first to say it. She's got a lot of growing up to do, Dennis. That is so, isn't it? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I just don't think that you should be sitting here mooning over Dawn. I mean, she's the one who has to change, not you. I'll tell you what I think you should be doing. I think that you ought to be thinking about all of your glorious new options, Dennis. About the kind of person that you want to share your new life with now that you have no limits at all. I mean, you can be anything, Dennis. Do anything. No limits. You haven't even thought about that, have you?
Oh, yes, I have. Let me tell you something, Paige. There are always limits. And when there aren't limits, there should be. Guess that's why I'm gonna turn down this damned inheritance. What are you doing?
Well, you don't feel feverish. But you have got to be sick, baby. It isn't healthy, anybody who turned down 2 million. Just how much are you planning on letting go, anyway?
I think it was something like that, Stryker said. I don't know. There's still auditing to be done. There are tax considerations. I don't know, and it's crazy. It's totally insane.
And so are you, Dennis, if you don't take it. Oh, Dennis, all that lovely money. Don't let it go.
He really did it this time. He really got what he wanted, didn't he?
You mean Alex? I wouldn't call dying getting your own way, Dennis.
I mean, a week ago, I wouldn't let that bum buy me a cup of coffee. And now he's dumped a third of his lousy fortune on me? On me?
Oh, please, try to forgive him, Dennis.
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
Oh!
What I don't understand, what I really don't understand is why? Why did he do it? Oh, I know he didn't expect to die or anything like that. But why did he put me in his lousy will? Mom, I can understand putting Mom in his will, but out of all the people in the world he could possibly care for, why me? You tell me that, Paige. Why me?
Maybe he thought you were cute.
I'm serious.
I know. Crazy, but serious.
Maybe. But none of this makes sense. And I've got to understand it. I've got to find out.
Well, maybe you should, ask your mom. I mean, she should know better than anybody. She was closer to Alex than anyone was, wasn't she?
Yeah, I guess she was. You're a big help, Paige. Thanks a lot. Here.
On the house. Come on. Talk to you soon. Oh, jackpot! Oh, millions. Hundreds of millions. Oh, dear. It's not in the bank yet, though, honey. Oh, God, he wouldn't actually blow it all off, would he? Oh, too horrible to even imagine. I better see what I can do about that. Yeah.
Carrington.
Elliot, congratulations. I'm sure you've heard about your son's good fortune.
Paige? No, as a matter of fact. What are you talking about?
Well, Alex Wheeler's will, of course.
Well, I knew they were reading it, but I was invited not to attend. What happened?
Dennis made good, Elliot.
Yeah? How good?
1/3
Of hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't even know how many hundreds yet. Nobody's counted it. It may take years.
You Texas girls. Out front all the way. No guile, no phony Eastern decorum. How unlike Iris you are.
Now, Elliot. Should I take that for criticism?
Oh, on the contrary, I approve. The hunger is right out front for all the world to see.
And your detachment, Mr. Carrington, also admirable.
Well, call me jaded. I'm pleased for my son, but it doesn't affect me much.
Well, Dennis just told me that he wasn't going to accept the money.
What? Oh, I get it. One of your little jokes.
Do you hear any laughter?
Paige, did he really say that?
He certainly did.
Amazing.
Elliot, don't you think a little fatherly chat is in order?
Yes. Maybe I should talk to him.
Good. I knew you would. Let me know how it goes, okay, honey?
Goodbye, Paige.
I'm okay, Striker.
I plead you innocent this afternoon because that's what I know you are, but I just want to be sure you understand what we're facing here.
I understand, Striker.
Do you? Because guilty or innocent, you walked yourself into this position, you know, by being as headstrong as you used to be when you and Rena were tearing up this town together.
Striker, do you have to?
Yes, I do, if it'll clear your head any. You tried and convicted Alex Wheeler. You sentenced him to death in your own heart. Even though half the people in this city were telling you you were wrong as sin about him. Now, isn't that so?
Striker, I know what I've done. I also know what I haven't done.
Well, listen, I had a little do with Iris this afternoon. She laid into me for defending you. She would like to see you taken out and hanged, I'm afraid. As far as she's concerned, this trial is an annoying formality.
I know.
I just want you to know what it means. We are not fighting simply the district attorney and the police and the miserable reputation which you have earned in the minds and hearts of our fellow citizens. We are fighting a lady wronged and a lady out for revenge. And a lady armed with all the money and power and influence that Alex Wheeler left behind. I would call the odds formidable.
Please rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge William Davis presiding.
State is represented by Mr. Blackwell. State the charge, please, against Justin Marshall.
First-degree murder, Your Honor.
And there'll be no bail set. Is the defendant represented by counsel?
He is, Your Honor.
Mr. Bellman, how does the defendant plead to the charge of first-degree murder?
The defendant pleads not guilty, Your Honor.
Morning. Meet me for breakfast when you first wake up. Remember, breakfast. I don't want to be without you even for a little while. Like a dream, the sun drives away.
Says he knows you. Shall I ask him to come in?
But I don't believe I remember you.
Hi there, pretty lady. I'm Alex Wheeler of Texas. And you, of course, are unforgettable.
Of course. It's all right, Nick. So, tell me, Mr. Wheeler, what brings you here? Have we really met before?
Shall we dance?
Nothing will ever part us again, Alex. Nothing in this world.
Alexander, do you take this woman, Iris, to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
Iris, do you take this man, Alexander, to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Alex, place the ring on Iris's hand and repeat after me. Iris, with this ring I thee wed.
Iris, with this ring I thee wed. Now I have a son. Our son.
Yes.
This is another miracle that I owe to you. Can we make that voyage we should have made so long ago?
Yes, darling. Yes.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Texas, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Remember, breakfast. I don't want to be without you even for a little while. In the morning. In the morning. In the morning, darling. Remember, Alex.
Iris.
Remember. In the morning.
Iris, it's time.
Time?
For the service.
You go, Ryan. I can't.
No, that's all right. Take a minute for yourself. Huh? They'll wait.
All those people with their flowers and eulogies. I can't. To put him in the ground and walk away.
Not really, no. Because that's not Alex.
He's still with us. He's still with you. Just the way he wanted to be, all right?
Where? Don't tell me any comforting lies. I am not a child, Ryan. Can I touch him? Can I call to him and hear him answer? Alex, where are you? I need you.
I know.
Oh. I am a child, aren't I?
No. You just hurt.
All I want is to sleep.
Did you have a bad night?
Oh, not so bad. Not so bad as morning. Just now I was dreaming. Remembering, really. What's the difference? What happened, what might have happened. It's all one long sleep. I was dreaming and I wished. My daddy used to say that when you dream, a part of you is waking someplace else, where the air sparkles as brightly as diamonds. Or so he said. All the lost things go there. Alex is there, and I'm there too sometimes. We're young, and we're dancing. The things people tell children.
Iris.
Look, don't. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm a fool. I squandered the time with my lies and delays. In all my life, I learned nothing. I'm selfish. I'm weak. I can't even be left alone without crumbling.
You're not alone. Look, we're family now. I'm here. I'm going to help you.
Then bring him back. How dare he leave me again? How dare he? Alex, I loved you.
Iris, listen to me. Listen to me. What you're feeling now, it's all my fault. I don't expect you to forgive me.
Oh, you feel that way too?
What way?
I just keep thinking how different it all would be if only I had him back.
Why? What would you do if you had him back?
I'd hide him. I'd take him away and keep him all to myself so no one else could ever hurt him. You see, the guilt, it isn't just you.
Yeah. Thanks.
So it's all right. You can tell me.
No, it's nothing important. Nothing important.
Something you've done?
No, it's just the will, that's all. Alex's will.
I can't think about that.
I know, but Stryker wants to go ahead. He's coming here after the funeral. Look, I'm sorry. I should have said no.
No. There are things to be done. When all of this is over, I think I'll go away for a while. Perhaps on the yacht. But for now, it's time to do my duty.
Oh, Chuck, I see nothing worrisome about that. Bart Walker's been after my hide ever since I got to Houston. Oh, fine. Let him think it's irregular. Well, in that case, why don't you pat his hand and sing him a lullaby? What did I let Connor talk me into here?
I need you to sign a death certificate. And after that, you're going to have to get hospital clearance. I want you to arrange a private suite for him. I want you to get him in under another name as a newly admitted patient.
See just how many laws do you expect me to break?
I expect you to help me keep him alive. Now, that's it. That's your duty as a doctor, right? Okay. We'll register him under Arthur Wesley. That's W-S-L-E-Y. We'll keep him under wraps until I can find his assassin, or until he recovers well enough to make his own decisions.
What made me say yes? Why put my head in the block for him?
Courtney, what in the world is going on? What's Kevin hiding? The mortality committee meeting on Wheeler is supposed to be posted today. It's not.
Oh, I see. The meeting's late, so Kevin's
It's not
hiding
late.
something.
There isn't going to be a meeting.
Of course there's going to be a meeting, Bart. There's always
I just talked to Dr. Sloan. He says hospital procedures are suspended for this case for, quote, compelling reasons, unquote.